What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to another video. If it is your first time here, my name is Brandon. As always, we do have our Investing Academy. It's that first link down in the description below. But as you can see from the title of this video, I want to remind you guys of a stock in the Canadian market that is so underloved. It's so unappreciated. It does not get the coverage that it deserves. But as I was kind of just on my own time, I was just kind of looking through some of my favorite holdings and kind of ranking them in my own head for my own purposes. I came across this company and just established that this is one of my favorite dividend stocks out there, and it's one that I think each and every one of you guys should have at least on your watch list. My goal on this channel is to point you guys in the right direction when it comes to companies, and I don't think it'd be fair to go on without mentioning the company Power Corp. Is the Power Corporation of Canada. The ticker you're looking at is POW.TO. The share price today trades at $39.87, and we're looking at a 4.49% dividend. And it's so funny, when I've covered this stock in the past, which I have multiple times, if you'd like to go check out some of those previous videos, I'll link them up at the top for you guys. Undoubtedly, I get comments time and time again that this stock isn't going anywhere and that this is a useless hold and why would you go out and buy this company? Well, just FYI, this stock is up 100%. It's doubled over a very short period coming out of the COVID pandemic. And as I mentioned, even at these current levels, we're pulling in a 4.49% dividend yield. As a quick background for anybody that's not familiar with this company, they did undergo a restructuring, so a corporate restructuring. This dates back to about December of 2019, where previously there was Power Corp and there was Power Financial, and they were two independent companies. They were traded out publicly on the market. They did actually merge, they did combine to really simplify things. And I'll throw up on the screen just a breakdown or a visualization of what this company entails from a corporate structure. With Power Corp, you are getting exposure to Great-West Life. I'm sure we're all familiar with Great-West Life. This is one of the top insurance plays in Canada. IGM Financial is a major player in the investment and finance space. I'm quite confident that you've heard of things like Investors Group. Many of you may actually have investments with Investors Group or IG. Mackenzie Financial, another very, very popular provider of ETFs and mutual funds, and the Investment Planning Council, just to name a few within that branch. They do have Sagard Holdings, which is an asset manager in and of itself, private equity market exposure, venture capital, and more. Through this umbrella of companies that you all get by purchasing the holding company or the parent company, Power Corp, this company generates about $3 billion in net earnings. This is the 2020 numbers. But as you'll see, this isn't just a Canadian specific company. You got 45% of that generated in Canada, 10% in the US, and actually about 25% in Europe. A big part of this is their insurance business that is held overseas, a lot of operations in that area. And as you can clearly see, you're getting such strong diversity within this company. This is by purchasing the holding company or the parent company. And you're not only getting the geographical diversification, but within the finance area, you're getting all these bits and pieces. And that's something that I love. And of course, this video wouldn't be right on this investing channel here with all the DIY investors without mentioning Wealthsimple. And Power Corporation is now the company, of course, that owns Wealthsimple. As I'm sure many of you guys heard about in the recent news, Wealthsimple just received some additional financial backing from Canada's finest Drake. Investors like Ryan Reynolds, Michael J. Fox, and a variety of other basketball, NBA, and NHL players. I've been on Wealthsimple now since we started the challenge. Actually, was the first time that I've dove into the platform, and I have to say I am a huge fan, a big supporter of the platform. Of course, there are some things they could work on, and they're a newer platform, and things are going to continuously evolve and grow. But so far, I have nothing really to complain about. It's a great service, and I came across an article saying that Wealthsimple alone is valued at around $5 billion. And if you let that sink in for a second, that is one of the many areas that you are getting exposure to within this parent company. The market cap alone, to remind you of Power Corp, sits today at $24 billion. And to progress on to why I love the stock and why it kind of spurred me to come out and make this video is that this is a case where the sum of the parts, we could call it. So within this holding company, you have all these different operations and companies. I think the sum of the parts, take Wealthsimple alone, valued at $5 billion, you can go out and purchase this parent company or the holding corp for $24 billion. I think if you just added up the values of all these little companies that they have weight in or exposures to, you are getting a very fair price today. Obviously, if we were to pull up a share price for you, if we were to go back, a year or so, I think that the difference in the value there would have been far more severe before it went on this huge run, but still you are getting exposures to a lot of new and exciting areas. And I think that's actually very key in an old industry like the financials, which are very traditional in their senses. In a sense, it's crucial to have these little bets such as Wealthsimple, which are really changing the way we do things. And it's a very good way of this company staying in tune with the times and being able to adapt. Adapting as a business is one of the most crucial things that will allow a company to sustain success over the long term. I want to speak for a moment on the dividend with this company because, as the title mentions, this is one of the best, in my opinion, Canadian dividend stocks out there. Today they pay a dividend of 4.49%. Now you can imagine before this run, they were yielding 6-7%, I believe, possibly even higher. They pay a dividend of about 45 cents per quarter Canadian. The yield again is 4.5%, which is significantly above the sector average, which I've highlighted in that little box for you guys of 1.8. Doing so with a 51% payout ratio and 12 years of growth. These are some phenomenal metrics. Yet again, this company just doesn't get the coverage that it deserves. I truly do believe, if I go back to my first video on Power Corp, I watch a lot of YouTube. I hadn't seen a single other video covering it. And still to this day, it is so underappreciated. Just to do a little bit of math for you guys, because I know you like seeing it in this visual form. If you invested $1,000 into Power Corp today, so you went out and bought the stock Monday morning, whenever this video is being posted, they pay about $1.80 in dividends per year, which is $44.90 in dividends and passive income on a $1,000 investment. If you were to scale that number up to whatever is a more appropriate dollar value for you, $10,000 invested equates to about $449 in dividends each and every year passively. To me, I look at that and just say, what's not to love? It's safe, it's secure, they have an extremely nice track record, and as we touched on, you do get the opportunity for capital appreciation. The people in the comments that say this stock doesn't go anywhere, yes, historically over the past while it's traded in a range, but if you're able to buy these stocks at opportune times, you do get that added benefit of capital appreciation as well. Hindsight is always 20/20, and it's easy to say, well, we could go back to the COVID pandemic. It would have been great to pick up these shares before they popped 100%. But even where we sit today post-run, they sit at a PE ratio of 11.49. Now, that is a very, very attractive PE. When I look at their 5-year average, this is right in line. This to me is a very fair price to pay on a company like this. At least over the past 5 years, that's what we've seen. If we look at a forward PE, we see a metric of 10.24. It's hard to argue with that, guys. And yes, stocks do all go on their runs. And clearly we've had an exceptional run here, but they do have their pullbacks. This is a stock that I think everybody should have on their watch list, because even though I think it's a fair stock to own even at today's levels with the 4.49% dividend, undoubtedly we will be represented with opportunities if we're patient to get in at just better prices, I'd like to believe. Looking back historically, this stock does tend to trade in a range. It does tend to bounce up and down. And although I do like the stock at today's prices, to be completely honest with you, I'm sure we will get some good opportunities if we just keep it on our list. So today the shares trade at $39.87. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the company Power Corp. Do you guys own the stock? Is this one that you were even familiar about, aware about? Do leave me a comment down below. I promised myself I'd keep this video nice and short. Hopefully it's under 10 minutes, probably not. We'll have to see in post editing, but if you guys enjoyed today's video, take a moment and drop a big thumbs up. I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are on Power stock. Power Corporation of Canada, ticker POW. I love that ticker. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, we post videos like this every single week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. If you don't hit that bell, YouTube won't alert you that we made a new post like this if you enjoy these types of videos. And as always, we do have our Investing Academy as that first link down below. If you are here, a Canadian investor, a beginner, someone that needs to learn more, you want to be part of our community, click that first link down below. You can learn all about it. But as always, I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.